Ready for more advice on tuning? Well, I'm going to give it to you anyway. Welcome to Guitar Chords Info stream, Tuning Up Part 6. This is the sixth and final video in a six-part series called Tuning Up. And now that I've given you a couple of strategies for tuning the guitar, in this last video I just want to make you aware of a couple of more resources and also warn you about some common pitfalls. So, first thing I want to talk to you about is electronic tuners. And an electronic tuner, basically it's just a gadget that you can clip on the end of your headstock here on the guitar, and it would check the tuning of your strings. And I wanted to show you my electronic tuner, but I can't do that, and there's a good reason, and that is I can't find it. I just haven't used it in so long. I don't really, well, the only time I would use an electronic tuner is if I was to play with a bunch of other musicians and couldn't really hear myself tuning. And you could, an electronic tuner you could probably find online or buy at a music store. And the other resource I want to make you aware of is something that I've only recently become aware of myself, and that is iPhone apps. I hear you can even get an app for your iPhone or Android phone or whatever kind of a phone you have. You can get an application for guitar tuning, and to be honest, I've never used one of those, so I can't really tell you a lot about them. I just wanted to let you know that they were there. So while we're on the subject of electronic tuners or iPhone apps, I really got two scenarios that I want to present to you. Okay, scenario one, pretend that you've watched all the videos so far and you know how to use your tuning keys in an online guitar tuner and the 5th fret method, and you're still really not sure about your tuning. When you start playing your chords, when you start learning chords, you feel like you're playing your chords right, but you're still just not sure about your tuning. Then you may want to consider having an electronic tuner or an iPhone app, but they're not mandatory by any means. That's just another resource that I want to make you aware of, because I would hate for someone to get discouraged and give up on learning the guitar when really the only problem they're having is that they're just not in tune. They're not getting in tune. And again, as I've said before, beginners usually don't do a perfect job of tuning the guitar. That's just something that comes over time. You'll just get better and better at it. The only way you won't get better and better at it is if you get discouraged and quit learning to play. Now, the second scenario is pretend that you do feel really confident about your tuning, and when you start learning your chords, they're sounding right to your ear. Well, you may not need an electronic tuner or an iPhone app. They're not mandatory by any means. So the choice is really up to you. I just wanted to make you aware of those resources. And just a couple of pitfalls that I want to talk to you about when you're tuning your guitar is, number one, make sure that you're turning that your fingers are on the tuning key that you think you are. As a matter of fact, you may remember I did that in one of the videos on the Tuning Up series. For instance, what if I'm trying to tune my 6th string and I grab the tuning key for the 5th string by mistake, and I'm going, well, what's going on here? Nothing's happening. Well, it's because I got the wrong tuner. And that's easier to do than you would think. As a matter of fact, I still do it on occasion, and I think every guitar player does it on occasion. And the only difference is an experienced player is going to catch the mistake sooner. Let me fix that string before I go on any further. And another pitfall that I want to talk to you about is getting herky-jerky with these things. You don't want to get herky-jerky, you want to get gentle, want to be real gentle with them. And finally, if you break a string here and there when you're tuning your guitar, I think that's happened to all of us. It used to happen to me when I was a beginner. Eventually I just got to the point where it didn't happen anymore. But if you do have a string break on you here and there as you're learning to tune your guitar, that's normal. Don't think it's something that only happens to you. And I believe the easiest strings to break, the one that's most prone to break when you tune the guitar, is the third string or G string, because it has the most tension on it. And after that would be the first string or the high E string. So there's a lot of information about tuning for you, and this does it for the Tuning Up series. And you're ready at this point to move on to phase 1 and start learning chords. So I look forward to seeing you there, and thank you for bearing with me through all of this long-winded, basic, boring setup material, but it's a necessary evil. We got to learn some very basics before we can really move ahead. But I think you're at that point now, and I look forward to seeing you in part 1. And meanwhile, please give me a like if you could, and a positive comment, and subscribe, because there's always more of these videos coming. And with that having been said, I'll see you in part 1, or phase 1 rather.